All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, going through a series of videos for the AWD Application Web Development 1000 Web Technologies class, and I'm talking MobiRise right now. And before I go on and start to actually build this St. Louis Blues Line site, I went out and wanted to make sure I had my colors. So there's my kind of yellow-oranges color. And I went out to colorhex.com, and there's the bluish color. So what I'm going to do, and hopefully what I'm about to tell you makes sense, I'm going to kind of do a hybrid of this site and this site. All right? And I'm going to start out by making just a one-page site because that'll be easier for me to do. All right? So it's going to be a one-page site, but I'm going to try to put in as much of this stuff as we can see in here. So I'm going to combine a lot of stuff together. Hopefully that makes some sense to you. All right. So to get started, I'm starting with MobiRise. I'm going to come in here, Pages, in fact, Sites, and let's create a new site. Notice I've got St. Louis Blues Line, but I don't want anybody to think that. Let me cancel this. So let me come here, and I'm going to remove that site. It's gone. Really don't need my demo site anymore. So that's gone as well. All right. So, come on, sites. I'm going to create a new site. Let's just call it Blues Line. And we'll use the MobiRise theme here. So I'm going to click OK. All right. So to start with, I'm going to use that colored menu. And I'm just going to drop that at the top. So I have this. And let's start making some changes. First change, I'm going to click here. And I'm going to click on my block parameters. And I'm going to go to color and to more, and I want to put in my hex code that I just showed you. Whoops, and I guess that's not there. That hex code is this, and that is # FDB Frank Don Bob 930. So you can see I've immediately changed my background color. That's good. That's a good start. I don't want this download button, or particularly want it, so under the show buttons, that's now gone. All right, so I've got that done. All right, let's click here on the image. We'll click image, and I will browse my computer, and I think this is the one that I want, this blue line JPEG, so I'm going to open that. There it is. I can link it back. And I don't really want to link it back any place, so I'm just going to leave it there and click OK. And there's my image. Well, I don't want MobiRise here. And let's just call it St. Louis Blues Line. Now, I don't like the fact that that's pushed over, so I believe that the only way that I can fix that is to come in here and change the font size. Okay, notice it's a Roboto font. They have added a bunch of the built-in Google fonts. Let's try Droid Serif. How's that? And we're going to take it and make it smaller. So I'm going to see if I make it 13. Still is too big. 12. Still is too big. 11. There we go. Now that doesn't look very good the way it is, but we'll work on that later. All right. Now the color, notice I only have, with the font colors, I don't get the color box. So I'm just going to use that blue for right now. All right. My home, my about, my contact look good, except again, I want to change those colors. So I can click on there. Again, I can click the more. And what did we just use? We used the sorry. Droid serif. So let's go on to here. We'll click the more. We'll make this one bigger. There shouldn't be a problem doing that. Let's make it 18. And again, I want to choose the droid serif here. And that's just one I chose. There's no special significance to it. All right. Let's say that we're just going to... we'll use that same blue, I guess. Notice again, we don't have the color wheel. So I'm going to use that same blue. And we'll use that for all of them. Now, when I made the change here, and I made it size 18, that changed all of them. But when you change the color on links, you've got to change them separately. I think this has the same font also. Droid Sans 18, good. And I'll make this blue, and I'll come in here, and again, click on color and make that blue. Now that pretty much is the way I want my header to look. All right, and you'll see how it looks on both a mobile phone, a tablet, and on my desktop. So I can come here now and take a look at it, and this is what it's going to look like right now. You could say not much. I'm not even going to disagree with that. All right, but that's what I have so far. All right, now as I take a look here, what do I want next? I can put in, there is a form in here, this subscribe to our newsletter. It doesn't look exactly like what you probably think it would look like. But I think we can put in a text block and kind of put this in there. So let's do that next. So I'm going to click down here, and I'm going to try to find a text block. How about an article? All right, there we've got that. That's where it is. Let's use the blue color for this. So we'll come to our block parameters. All we've got in here is show subtitle. We should be able to change the color on this. I was under the presumption that I could change that, so I don't want to use that one. Let's see what else we have in here. Info blocks, pre-made blocks. Let's try that. Okay, there's a pre-made block. Okay, so we've got that. I don't like that, so let's change the color. And again, I've got to come in here, and this is #00529C. So that's the color that I want to use for this block. Click more and paste in. There you go. That's what I want. Okay. And the text that we had in there was the St. Louis Blues line. So I'm going to copy that text and see if I can just drop it in here. There it is. Well, a couple things. First, I definitely don't like the way that font looks. So if I click on here and click my More button, it's Roboto. And I can change it again from Roboto to my Droid Sans, or Droid Serif, I should say. That looks a little better. I think it should be bigger than it is, so let's make it about 32. That looks a little better. If I wanted to, I could align it left, right, or whatever. I don't want to do that. The color, yeah, I want to work with the color. And I want to go back to my color here. take for some reason. Okay. There I've got the St. Louis Blues line. I don't really want this button. And I think I can remove it. Yep, there it is. Okay, so that's gone. All right, so I've got my St. Louis Blues line. And I want this text here. So there's my text. I want a blank line in between here. And I want to come in and highlight that text and again change the color. All right. I can bold it if I want to, but I really don't. That's fine the way it is. So that's looking okay. All right. And I'm going to come in after that. I'm going to click here and I'm going to add, I'm going to go down to Forms. And I'm going to grab this subscribe to our newsletter form. All right. So I'm going to again click on here, click my block, check and changed my color. All right. That's not what I want. I don't know what that would do. But I do want to change that color, so I want to change that to this. All right, so it looks just like the other one did. Okay. Now, earlier we had said, did we say subscribe to our newsletter, or what exactly did we say on here? Subscribe to our newsletter. Okay, so the only thing that I'm going to change here is I'm going to change the color. We're going to make it that orange that we've been using. All right, and let's change the font type also in here. All right, 35 or 25 seems to be like it's okay, but again, we're going to make it that droid serif to try to get a common look and feel here. Now, I've done a little bit of work on here where I grab that. Just a second, please. And I tried to take it and drag the block like it says. Okay? But it didn't seem like it wanted to go. So I just left it the way that it was, okay? All right, again, this is not meant to be an exact look. I believe that if I came in, and if you look on here, notice for drag block and save user blocks, you're not going to have this thing up here where I've got the mouse that says edit code. You won't have that unless you buy the code editor. But I believe that even when I tried and made this smaller, for example, and just to show you, I'll make it about, let's say 19. All right, then when I clicked on here and said drag block, that's the block. See, that's what you can drag. It's not that you can move this. See that? It doesn't move it. It's like in a fixed place. All right? So, let's just keep going. Next. Well, I think what I'd like to do, in fact, let's put it before the subscribe to our newsletter. So let's put it right there. Okay, let's put in our slideshow. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to grab slider. And I'm going to drag it right in there. And I'm going to change my pictures. Okay. So with this in here, I'm going to select my block parameters, click on the first slide, browse computer, and put in this one. Oops. So there's my first slide. Let's move to the second one. Again, block parameters. Click on the slide. Again, we'll browse our computer. Well, that looks really bad. I think that was a problem when I came in and tried to change the size. That has nothing to do with the software. So let's go back to this. And I'm not going to use that one. Looks a little nicer. So what do we have here? We've got slide 1, slide 2, and let's move to slide 3. Again, click here, choose our block parameters, choose the image, browse our computer, that was another problem again when I tried to manually change the size of the image myself. So I'm going to use this one. I may have even had that one in there already. I don't know. All right. So let's check. Yep, I do. So what images did I have in here to begin with? That would be on here. So I've got that one. I don't think I'm using that one right now. I don't see all those same images in what I'm working with, so I'm just going to keep them the way they are just for now. All right, let's cancel that. So what does this look like now? Well, there it is. There's my slideshow. Okay, I could add more images if I wanted to. There's our subscribe to our newsletter. All right. And what else do we have in here? Let's check my time. All right, I'm at 18 minutes, so I'm going to stop right now and continue on in the next part of this in just a couple moments.